Tonight on Inside Soul, we discuss the Adaptable blend, and we discuss it with the person who actually formulated it. Also, we'll get an update on the Heart and Soul Foundation and its latest project. All this and more next on Inside Soul. What's up, Soul Naturals? Good evening and welcome to Inside Soul. I'm Lon Hudman, Vice President of Events and Marketing at Soul Naturals, and tonight for Inside Soul, I am joined by Hope Anderson, who is going to be joining me as a co-host. And it is a glorious day. I saw Nita Aldridge posted in, it's a glorious day, and I have to agree, it is in fact a glorious day. We're so glad to have everybody join us and chatting in on our chat board. We have a lot of great things to cover, and in fact, the reason that Hope is joining me in this first segment is because we have some exciting announcements and some updates. And let's start with the recent project with the Heart and Soul Foundation that was just completed in Mexico. Tell us a little bit about what happened there.
Awesome. Thank you, Lon. I will. Tyler, if you could show this slide. There are some pictures here of the Heart and Soul Foundation. We recently financed the construction and the arming of a library, a community library in Ixhuatlan del Café in Mexico. It's in the mountains of Veracruz. It's about 4 hours from Mexico City. And as you can see, these are some pictures I just got back this past week from Village Book Builders was the organization we partnered with to go and build this library. And I love it because not only did they build the library and they had over 220 new books purchased for it, 3 computers, 3 headsets, but also they took the time to work with the community and really make it a comfortable and happy place for the kids. They decorated the walls. You can see the little pictures of the owls, and they kind of put the books in different colored crates they did. And I just love that they really made it something special for those children. There's about 250 students in the school that will benefit from that library, but also it's open for the entire community. So what they do is they usually work with local schools and parents. So for in this case, the school donated the land and then we built it on that land. And so that way the students in the school are able to go there every day, check out books. It's run by volunteers. They get the community involved. They do a great job. The community was amazing by working together to figure out and plan this entire project with the help of Village Book Builders. And I just think it looks great. We sadly, because of everything that's been going on with the health situation, the global health situation, couldn't be there for the grand opening, but the pictures were awesome, and it looks like everyone really loved it.
That looks like a great project, and it's completed. And
it is.
The next thing, right? Heart and Soul Foundation, always looking for opportunities to give back, yes.
Thank you, Lon. Sorry to cut you off there. But I wanted to say really quickly, thank you to all of you that donate and make it a habit to donate to the Heart and Soul Foundation, because those are the sorts of things that we are able to do with those donations. Some people donate a lot, a few times a year, but what we really love, and we love all donations, right? But we love this philosophy of you can have that $10 donation, add it to your auto ship, and if a lot of people just do a little bit consistently, then you can really make a huge difference.
And that's what allows us to do these kinds of projects, right?
Exactly.
Everybody kind of contributing. All right, well, another announcement that we have is there's a new kind of an incentive contest going on involving our drinks, right?
Yeah, we're a little bit competitive here. We like contests.
Okay.
So we launched a new one today on Facebook, just a recipe drink competition. We're calling it the Sippin' Soul competition. And as you can see at this Facebook link, it's an event on our official Soul Naturals page, so you can find it there. And in the details, right, it tells you exactly what it is. So we're going to have a first place winner that receives $100 in Soul Rewards, second place with $50, and third place $25. Super easy. Anyone can participate. As it says there, how do I enter? They have to make a post in that event under the discussion tab, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And the recipes must be posted between now and July 17th. So on July 19th, which you can see by this is the date of this event, we're going to have a panel of judges.
I was going to ask you, who are the judges?
Yep. So 2 of the founders will be judges and 2 members from customer support will be judges. And so we'll have judges in English and Spanish. Anyone can participate, but we'll be basing it off taste, creativity, and health, because anyone can make anything taste good if you pour in a ton of ice cream, but we don't want you to do that. So
health is a factor.
It's a factor,
okay,
yes.
All right.
I feel like we wouldn't be true in doing this if we didn't
True
make
to
health
our
a factor.
mission.
Exactly. And so it needs to be with one of the top 4 drinks or any of our powders. So I know a lot of you have recipes for the top 4, but maybe if you're trying to be extra creative and think of some recipes that we haven't heard before, we really have a lot of powders that you can
So they could use avant greens, they could the Soul Complete.
Good vibrations.
Okay.
Yep, Soul Royal. A lot of options here. A lot to work with.
So, here's the key question. Are you going to announce which founders are going to be the judges beforehand, or is that going to be kind of kept secret so that they can't be influenced?
I like that, Lon. I like that.
I
know some of you, and I know you'll be reaching out. So for that purpose, we'll keep it a secret.
Good
I
idea.
admire it because I myself am competitive, and I would also do anything to win. But we got to be fair here. And really quickly, I want to show you how you can submit a recipe and make a post. You just go to the discussion tab right there, and then you'll see we already have some posts in here. Looks like Betty Runkle did a vital something. It sounded cool. A vital coconut cream frappuccino with lavender drizzle. Wow.
Wow.
That's the creativity we're looking for there.
Okay.
And then you can just add a post by clicking that button. And so like I said, we're only going to choose some based on those 3 criteria. We're going to choose 10 drinks specifically based on your post, and it needs to be convincing. It needs, if you have a picture, make it look appealing so that we want to choose it as one of those 10.
Or have a cool name like that.
Exactly.
With a drizzle.
It just
with
makes
a lavender
me feel
drizzle.
like I have to know what it is.
You're right.
So we're going to try those 10 on July 19th at 3 p.m. Mountain Time and go through our panel of judges and see who is the winner.
Awesome. All right, we have one more announcement that I wanted you to join me for. And this is an exciting announcement. We have, after the month of June, in the month of June, we have a brand new Soul Elite 100K.
Woohoo!
And that is BioSalud, Anna and Manny Cano. Congratulations to them. We were so excited. And you can see on this slide, these are the flowers that they received, along with our congratulations on achieving Soul Elite 100K. And we hope to, because it was the 4th of July weekend, things were a little bit crazy, but we hope to have them on our next edition of Inside Soul so we can congratulate them properly, talk to them about what they did and their journey with Soul Naturals.
Yeah. This year it's been particularly really fun. We've had 3 new 100Ks since January, if I'm not incorrect on that.
Okay, I believe you're correct.
And all past 3 have been women. So our group, our 100Ks, were primarily men before, and I love seeing the women step it up and really make a presence there.
Yeah,
so
you can just tell that there's a lot of momentum right now. A lot of people are achieving that top rank.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. Well, now, all summer long, we are going to be focusing here at Soul Naturals on the unique or proprietary blends that make Soul Naturals special, okay? And these blends are what we refer to as blends with benefits.
Because of course at Soul we can't call anything just horse for sale.
No,
it's got to be something.
It's got to be blends with benefits. Play on words. All right, so that's our next segment. We're going to talk about blends with benefits. And excitingly, I'm so excited to have our president and CEO, Greg Halliday, join me to talk about blends with benefits, because the blend that we're going to be focusing on tonight is the Adaptable blend, which was the very first herbal blend. It's kind of the foundational blend in 2 products, Adaptable and Soul Vital. And Greg is the person behind putting that formula together, and it's been a while since you've been on Inside Soul, Greg. So
it has. I was wondering, but then I watched Hope, and I understand why I haven't been on Inside Soul, and I'm great with that.
No, she does a great
awesome.
job. I know.
Yeah.
So, but she didn't put together the Adaptable blend. You did. So, as we talk about our blends with benefits, and specifically Adaptable, I wanted you to join me and talk a little bit about your thinking and what went into the creation of the Adaptable blend.
Well, I think the Adaptable blend really was just a result of the light bulb moment for us in discovering, I guess you could say it, in our own personal journey. and as a company, as we founded, the power of adaptogens and what they are and how they're all similar and how they're different as well. And that whole journey into how we would use them in Solle, what we would combine them with, how we would concentrate them, and the things that make the Solle formulas unique in that way, and what really has put us on a pathway where we try to lead that whole area of health. So I think to maybe describe a little bit about this blend, Lon, if it's okay, I do have 2 or 3 slides.
Okay, well.
So
I was hoping you would. I was hoping you would.
Okay. I've never been accused of having too few of slides. I've been accused of having too many, a lot. But I kept it to few tonight. It's just a few. So if we can look at the first one, adaptogens, first of all, there are a lot of herbs that have adaptogenic properties, but a full adaptogen or an adaptogen in the way that we view them, completely an adaptogen, that has a few characteristics. I like to think of 5, but in this slide, we've just boiled it down to 3 things just to keep it really simple. First of all, they're non-toxic, meaning they can be used in any amount. And that's a little bit unique to some people because they tend to look at herbs like everything else, like medicine, and they're not that. They're nutrients.
They think you can overdose or something like that. You can take too much. And as we've said many times, adaptogens are safe for daily use. You can use them.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, there are herbs that you can take too much of, but they wouldn't be adaptogens then. Adaptogens, one of their defining characteristics is that they can be used in whatever amount. And why that's important is because our health needs vary, and the situation we're dealing with can be more or less acute or severe. And one principle we've learned at Solle is that if you can move your nutrition to the level that matches the need, then that's how solutions are created, and that's how we feel a difference. So to be able to do that, sometimes the need's pretty great. And so with adaptogens, I feel comfortable and safe moving them up to the level. We usually start at a minimal level, see how the body does, learn to listen to our body, and then know with confidence that we can move it up to the level that is needed to see balance and change start to happen. So that's the first characteristic, that they're non-toxic. The second kind of is a little bit of the same discussion. They're non-specific. In other words, they're so varied in their nutrients, and they have so many versus, plants that maybe have 1 or 2 key elements. Adaptogens have many. And because of that, it's described as being a non-specific response because what adaptogens really do is work in those core processes in the body that create energy and that affect our metabolism, the whole process of turning nutrients into change, into results in the body. And that's why adaptogens are so wonderful, because they have so many different things. They can fill a lot of gaps. That's kind of the second point.
Okay.
And then the third one on this slide is they have a normalizing influence. And that one's really easy to explain. They have so many components that some of their components will boost slow functions or weak functions, and others will calm overactive functions. I mean, that's in a general sort of way, in a general principle, all adaptogens follow that sort of structure. And that's a defining characteristic. It's sort of a red flag when you see that in a plant. Ooh, this could be adaptogenic when you see that. An example would be nopal, which has elements in it that lower those sugar levels in blood and other elements that raise them. And so that no matter which side you're out of balance, Dr. Maria Fernandez showed in her study, in her research, nopal normalizes both. Or rather, your body normalizes it.
Yeah, it gives the body what it needs to bring it back into balance.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of this, if we can look at the next slide here, goes into this definition that I love. This is from Dr. Allison. So this material is from one of her trainings. There is such a gold mine of education, thanks to the amazing Dr. Allison. And I love these few slides I'm showing tonight because this is the definition I love to reread. Here we are 10 years later. And it makes me think just as much and contemplate how adaptogens work and how we can use them just as much now as it did 10 years ago. They're a new class of herbs. The herbs are not new, but new to the classification, that are metabolic regulators, which increase the ability of an organism, us, to adapt to environmental factors and to avoid damage from such factors. That's a pretty simple statement, but it is so profound to me. And being where we are in the soul journey, we are kind of witnesses of the truthfulness of that statement. And I think we've learned a lot of things along the way that we could add to that statement. So I do love that. And then, so if we jump further, and I apologize for all the intro, but this particular blend, which we've called Adaptable, we've seen now in 10 years, it illustrates all of the descriptions that these two researchers, through multiple studies over a number of years, published and have published on several occasions. Looking at this slide, there are anti-fatigue effects. The thing that I wanted to say tonight is, I like to think, at first I thought more about physical fatigue. The longer that I think about and that we work with adaptogens, the more I focus on mental fatigue and how much the physical will follow where our mental state is. What a truth that is in health. And so these adaptogens, they write, have anti-fatigue effects that increase mental work capacity, even when you're already stressed and tired, helping you have a better attention on whatever you happen to be needing to focus on, and helping you tolerate that feeling of exhaustion. So I can be a little tired. Life can still happen. I can have sort of the ups and downs and the heavy periods and the light periods of work mentally, and I'm still good through that, but I'm not numb to it. So I love anti-fatigue because the anti-fatigue to me is about the mental work capacity. And then the second half is just as big on this statement. Neuroprotective, anything that protects our mind, the way our nerves communicate, and the way our signals work in harmony in all of health in the body, to me, I'm down for, I'm interested in. And adaptogens actually are quite protective. That's the other thing they showed in their study. And therefore, people's experience less anxiety, as it says here, less depression, and at the same time, enhanced learning, enhanced memory, enhanced cognition. So those processes of actually learning things and keeping them. I love Dr. Allison, her explanations and some of the slides she produced. So, okay, so 2 more slides, and then I'm kind of done with my slide fest here.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Okay. Am I going too fast? Any other questions along the way, Lon?
No. This is good.
Okay, so keeping all of that in mind and what we've learned from this wonderful research and what we've seen over the first decade of Soul, the Adaptable blend to me is an even more interesting blend than we felt it was upon its development and the early use. In other words, the more we learn,
that's what we've discovered more about each of these adaptogens.
Yeah, not just us, but researchers the world over. And these particular 6, they were chosen because they're among the most studied. They're readily available. They're harvested in a responsible way, and they meet all the criteria that we have laid out in the Soul Certain quality standard for ourselves. But I think you could generally say, if you wanted to summarize these 6, we have a huge variety because together they fill the most gaps and result in a general increase in energy and mood. So those 2 things, to me, it's simple to say that. It's easy to say, oh, more energy and a better mood. But when you get behind what the components are in each of these plants and all the things that they do, the explanation for reasons why that is incredibly complicated. And that's why they help in so many different things. An example would be, and I just wanted to sort of finalize my comments with this slide. This slide comes from a training that Dr. Allison did on St. John's wort. Now, St. John's wort is not one of the 6 adaptogens. In fact, it's not a full adaptogen, but it is very adaptogenic.
And it's part of the Adaptable blend.
It's part of this blend.
Product, right?
Absolutely. In fact, it's a very important part of the blend in the Adaptable product, in the capsule. It is
not in the Soul Vital.
Right. It is not in the Soul Vital. And because we understand some people just want, Soul Vital also has minerals and chlorophylls that are other elements that are important and are a great mix with this Adaptable blend. So some people prefer just to use the Soul Vital. The Adaptable blend is the same group of adaptogens in Soul Vital, just doubled in dose, and with one key addition. St. John's wort. And I wanted to show this one slide about St. John's wort because sometimes St. John's wort's misunderstood. This is the slide. It was toward the end of the training, and it would be fascinating. Sometime, somewhere, it would be fun to go through these slides, probably not on Inside Soul, but on a special Zoom, about St. John's wort, because it's generally viewed, I think, in the public as, oh, St. John's wort is a great antidepressant.
Right.
It's a great anti-anxiety. And so people think about it in terms of their head and their brain. And that's where all the focus is. In this training, Dr. Allison shows the components in St. John's wort and how they affect so much outside the head,
The mind.
the head
and-
area.
yeah.
In fact, her statement toward the end is, it may do more in the gut than it does in the head, which is why it's so successful with depression and anxiety. And she for instance, she comments about, the microbiome, the layers of sort of the enteric system that she talks about that that really contributes to the nerve, or is part of that whole nerve messaging, saying that I was just reading this earlier today, just in preparation for tonight, that 90% of the messages between the gut and the brain go from bottom up. 10% go from brain down, 90% go from this area up to the brain,
Up to the brain.
giving information, etc. And so she also, so that was one point, and you can see on this slide, the second point is gut. Another point is inflammation. Another is the liver. Each of these things, St. John's wort plays a huge role in healing. Another important part of St. John's wort. In fact, that's the reason why it's also in our Solflex AC cream. A lot of people don't know that St. John's wort is found there as well.
I had
in the
forgotten
AC.
that,
Yeah,
actually.
a small but interesting point. And so what Dr. Allison shows is that perhaps why St. John's wort is so good, and I would just add perhaps why Adaptable in the capsule form is so effective, is because it is dealing with the whole body. All of these points that you see in the slide, depression is the whole body, are addressed through St. John's wort. And I would add, and also all of these other adaptogens. She was simply focusing on St. John's wort in this particular slide. So to me, why is that such good news? Well, because she makes this statement, you know what? This may not be about your head if you're feeling this way. It's about your whole body, you know that? And she didn't say it may not. She pretty much said it's not. It's about your whole body. And
It's the whole body affecting.
it's the whole body. And
Mental.
so sometimes we think you could sort of take that as, oh, great, I got to fix my whole body to feel better, which is the inverse of how you should look at it and how we've learned to look at it in Soul. Look at it this way. Everything you do in your body plays a role in mood. And therefore, as I help all these different things, it is going to make a difference for positive in anxiety and depression. And Adaptable is no exception to that. That's why Adaptable works so well, as these adaptogens and the St. John's wort as well, they actually do really key things throughout the body, and it's why they're so effective and so balancing in terms of anxiety and depression, in terms of how we feel in the head. So for me, that's what I wanted to say tonight, is that Adaptable, it is definitely a blend with 1,000 benefits, and sometimes we simplify it to just talk about the mood element, and that is so important. But it is successful there because of all the great work that all those adaptogens do throughout the body in those key communication channels and key processes that all play a role in the way we feel.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Greg. And like you said, definitely a blend with benefits, right?
Yes.
And I've seen people chatting in. They're talking about how much they love their Adaptable. Colleen says, I love my Adaptable. And Debbie says, I love that it's in Solflex AC cream. Everybody loves their Adaptable. In fact, as you were talking about it, I started thinking about, I need to give some Adaptable to my cousin. I have a cousin who just got fired from his job. He's been a little bit depressed. He had a job at a keyboard factory, and he wasn't putting in enough shifts. So now they won't let him return or enter. They even have the caps lock. Greg didn't even get it. It just went right over his head. But Greg, I want you to stay with me.
I was thinking piano. This is how.
No, keyboard.
I was thinking musical keyboard. I wasn't thinking
just
computer.
Right over your head.
Yeah, sorry.
Right over your head.
About that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want you to stay with me because I have a couple of announcements. First of all, I want to remind everyone that we still have open registration for the Soul Leadership Summit coming up in October. The dates are the 6th through the 8th. Registration is just $99. And let me tell you why that is such a good deal. Okay? Let me give you a little taste of what the agenda is going to be like at the Soul Summit. On Thursday, from 7 to 9 p.m., we're going to have the welcome reception and opening session. Friday morning, we're going to go travel to Spanish Fork for the Soul Manufacturing Tour and lunch. And then that afternoon, after we get back, we're going to have breakout sessions that include a presentation from Noelle Picus-Pace, Olympic silver medalist, world champion in the skeleton, and she'll be giving that presentation in both Spanish and English. Then Saturday morning, we have more breakout sessions, 3 rotations in Spanish and in English. Okay, so 3 in Spanish, 3 in English. And then from 2 to 4:30, we have 3 more rotations in Spanish and 3 more in English. And then we have an hour-long general session, okay, where we're going to talk about, basically it's going to be some corporate updates, things that you're going to be excited about, these corporate updates. Then from 6:30 to 8 p.m., we will have a closing banquet, which is optional. What that means is that if you prefer to eat outside of the hotel, you are allowed to do that, because we will be giving you, just in the next week or so, we're going to be telling you what the price is to attend that closing banquet. As many of you know, we changed the pricing format, the way that we price these events, and we used to include all of the meals in the price of the registration. Now we've discounted the registration to just $99, but if you want to pay to attend the closing banquet with the founders and with all of us, which when you hear the price, you're going to want to. Trust me, it's a really, really good deal. So that will be from 6:30 to 8. And then from 8 to 9, we will have our recognition program. And then from 9 to 11, we're going to have a 10th anniversary after party. Music, refreshments, all right? So that's the Soul Summit agenda. As I mentioned, the featured speaker there will be Noelle Picus-Pace, 2-time world champion, Olympic silver medalist, but she's not the only presenter that you're going to want to listen to. Look at this list of breakout presenters. Dr. Allison Caldwell-Andrews is going to be speaking. Becky Kemp, and Becky Kemp is she is an author, and she talks about the importance of words, and specifically the words that you say when you're talking to yourself. Okay? It's all about self-talk. She's going to be giving a breakout session. It's going to be repeat 3 times. Okay? Josh Campos, he is a successful businessman, and he's talking about how the fastest way to make $1 million, he says, is to make your employees feel like they're worth $1 million. Treat them like $1 million. Okay? The way you treat your employees and the people that you work with, your team members, that's going to lead to your success. He's going to be giving a breakout on that. And then Jennifer is going to be talking about the power of essential oils, and specifically the power of essential oils on the mind. At the conclusion of our summit, of course, we have our Red Rock Rally, and qualification for the Red Rock Rally just ended at the end of June. And we had, I think, over 70 different accounts qualify for our Red Rock Rally. We hope all of you that qualified are going to be joining us at Bryce Canyon. And if you're going to Bryce Canyon and you're going to the Red Rock Rally, I certainly hope you're coming to the summit. It only makes sense. If you're going to fly all the way to Utah, you might as well come to the summit, hear all those great speakers, and then join us at the Red Rock Rally. One final announcement tonight. Our next Inside Soul will be in 1 month, August 2nd, 6 p.m., same time. And so, Greg, do you have anything that you want to say in terms of the Soul Summit attendance, the Red Rock Rally?
I do. Just a couple of quick things on the summit. First of all, the lineup is fantastic, and it's going to be, there will be a lot of training. It's going to be pretty transformative. I was looking at Saturday, and I can tell you that's one of those days where once you go through it and you participate, you're never the same afterwards. So, but all of the days will be great. I mean, touring the manufacturing, I think Lon, you mentioned, the new strategy, which is to keep a lower registration and then have meals somewhat optional. Some of them are provided. I think there's
the luncheon is provided on the
luncheon
tour,
and
and then the
opening
opening reception and stuff. But
Yeah, and that's one thing. There'll be a fun luncheon in the manufacturing. You'll get to see how everything is made at Solle. I can't wait to show you. I know Blake can't wait to show you the facility. So I do feel a great degree of excitement for one of the things that we stand for at Solle is to help people become the best version of themselves. Jordan says that all the time, and we all have a deep belief in that. This is going to be one of those transformative events for that. So I'm looking forward to that. But I do have a question for you, Lon.
Okay.
So yeah, they're coming to Utah, and we're going to go out west too, right? Afterward. So is there going to be any cowboy poetry? That's my question.
Ooh, wow!
Because
It's never been assigned, but it certainly could happen. Certainly, when we're in Bryce Canyon, it's more than likely some cowboy poetry is going to come out at some point.
That makes me happy. I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for Inside Solle. Again, some exciting announcements. Some great things moving forward. We hope everyone gets registered for the Solle Summit. We want to see you all out here in Utah. And remember, it's your body, your mind, your life. See you next time.